Hi friends, it's your buddy Matt, the global ergonomist and ergo coach. Welcome to another strong Qigong. This is our play Pipa class. The Pipa is the ancient Asian lute. It's also a defensive stance in Tai Chi, and we based our class around playing Pipa, which is a Tai Chi stance and move. From there, we went to what we call reciprocal two-handed silk reeling. So silk reeling in what we like to call our wax-on fashion. And that's a nice, easing, mesmerizing move. From there, we went from our center stance to silk reeling in our horse stance, both east and west. We always do things bilaterally in strong Qigong. And after our horse stance, low and in control, we returned to our center stance, and then we advanced to a single leg stance. We always try to put a balancing stance into strong Qigong routines. This one is called the rooster stands on one leg, and it works very well with this form of silk reeling. From there, we went back to playing Pipa with the silk reeling between them. And that nicely wrapped up this routine. So I hope you'll enjoy it. I hope you'll participate. Please don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to comment. We love hearing back from you, and it helps us with the algorithm. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you can always join us. And please feel free to share it with those who you care about. We love having them. We love having you. Join us for more strong Qigong.
Deep and slow, quiet and even, in through the nose and out from the mouth. In through the belly and out from the chest, in through the heart, out from the mind. Remember, as we exhale, we're always extending the exhale. That's what tips our autonomic nervous system towards rest and digest. Extend every exhale. At the bottom of your breath cycle, squeeze a little more air out using your floating ribs. Ribs 11 and 12. Very bottom, they free float. You can squeeze a little more air out at the bottom of your lobes, the bottom lobes of the lungs. Extending this exhale makes the next inhale through the nose much longer. So that's one of our key tenets in strong Qigong. Key to taking a deep breath is how much I puff out at the bottom of every breath cycle. So work on it. As you do, it's an opportunity to focus the mind. This is what we call sharpening the mind on the stone of the breath. And what we use for sharpening the mind on the stone of the breath, seeking out the fleeting moment, where your out-breath changes to your in-breath. Your in-breath changes back to your out-breath. We call that the poles of the breath. It's like two edges of a beautiful katana, samurai sword. So as we inhale, we draw that sword across the stone. Then we flip the sword. That's the fleeting moment. Then we exhale and we push it from us across the stone. We focus our mind on that fleeting moment, on that edge we're drawing to us and pushing from us. Yin-hail and yang-hail, we call it, in strong Qigong. You're sharpening your mind on the stone of the breath. It's a beautiful technique to do anytime as a formal meditation or just a breath here and there to recalibrate yourself, center yourself, find yourself here and now. After a few more breaths, invite your eyes to close and or open, whichever the case may be. Invite them to open up. And let's begin our warm-up. Starting from head to toe, we always use the upper down to the lower with the yoga neck roll. We take a deep breath in, and our head floats like a balloon at the end of a string. As we exhale, we purse our lips and slowly let the air out of the balloon. Our chin drops to our chest. When we inhale again, we inhale and we sweep one ear past one shoulder. We exhale, we sweep across opposite ear past opposite shoulder. We continue to rock and forth, exhaling our chin across our chest, inhaling our ear past our shoulder. And this rocking from side to side calibrates our inner ear with our diaphragm. It calibrates our phrenic nerve that controls our diaphragm with our vagus nerve. which gives us so much feedback from our body. And that feedback is known as interoception. We're calibrating our proprioception, that's our position sense, with our interoception, our body sense, thanks to our vagus nerve. Beautifully done. So on your next exhale, you can pause your chin at the bottom, inhale back upright as we work into our shoulder girdles now. We begin to loop our shoulder girdles forward and upward as we inhale, bring them around back, we squeeze them downward and backward as we exhale. We continue to loop in this manner with our breath, inhaling forward and upward, exhaling, squeezing downward and backward. Make those big, deliberate circles. And when you watch the traditional forms, they make their body get into it. So feel free to soften your knees as you drop down. Feel free to let your knees float. If you want to get your whole body involved, do so. They do so with every bit of themselves. After you've done a few loops like this, on your next exhale, simply relax your shoulders and turn your eyes towards your hand. Begin to scoop and toss from side to side, scooping with palm up, tossing with palm down as your eyes follow your hand. Your hands follow your breath. Your breath follows your mind. Beautifully done. Inhaling, scooping upward, exhaling, tossing downward behind you. Well done. This is silk reel. We begin to reel this silk first with our hands, and then we bring in our elbows. Big looping circles with the elbows. After you've looped a few times with the elbows, notice the turn in trunk and the shift in weight. Begin to make those loops into the shoulder blade. Get those shoulder blades rolling backward from side to side. So earlier you did them in tandem. Now you're doing them individually. Turning trunk, shifting weight. Beautifully done. And with the upper body warmed up, we'll work into the midsection by simply turning our trunk from side to side. We call this ragdoll. It's also known as the constant bear. One of my teachers called it the constant bear, like a big bear, lumbering down a trail here in the Smokies on its hind legs. And once you get the constant bear going, you can go right into the pellet drum or prayer drum. Use the trunk turn momentum to begin to slap or tap the top of your shoulder and your low back. Continue this momentum, slapping or tapping up at the top of the shoulder blade. Work your way down to the top of the chest and give yourself some slaps and taps up at the top of the chest, up by your collarbone. Then work your way down to those floating ribs we were talking about earlier, bottom of your rib cage. Well done. Now that you've got those done, finish up at your hips. Let your hips get a little bit of slapping and tapping with the pellet drum as we work our way down into the lower half of the body. We allow our hands to drift to our hips, and we begin a big looping hula hoop maneuver. We call this stirring the bowl. Don't know what it's called traditionally in Tai Chi and Qigong. I never found a name for it, but it is one of their classic warm-ups. And after you've looped in one direction, simply pause and loop in the other so you unwind what you've wound. Beautifully done. Looping. Well done. After you've done the hips, allow your center of gravity to settle into your base of support and step out a little wider, a little lower. See if you can bob a little bit like you're riding a horse. This is known as the horse riding stance. It should be comfortable, but wide and low as you can tolerate. We go into the great bear swings, the lower half of the body. We take a deep breath in. As we exhale, we turn our shoulder trunk to rock down. As we inhale, we turn our shoulder and rise to pull. Then exhale, turn our shoulder, drop. Inhale, rise, pause. You keep this momentum going and you can rest your hands on your thighs, maybe between your knees and hips. So we inhale up, we exhale out. This great bear swings. Pay attention to the sensation of your weight shift from one foot to the other. That powerful sensation, that's your lower dantian. That's where all power originates. So in the West, we call it the core, because we know that the strongest swinging of a baseball bat or tennis racket or golf club or any of the martial arts or boxing, we know this is where power is drawn to, from the center of gravity, the core. On your next exhale, simply pause at the bottom, remain in horse stance, and bring your trunk upright. Now focus on keeping your trunk upright as you start to shift weight. On a figure 8. So you're shifting weight from one foot to the other. But if you'll notice, you should get a little swirl in your hips as you change direction. Your trunk remains upright, and this is how you move from the lower dantian while keeping all 3 dantian stacked peacefully on one another on life's rivers. Story about how she was doing it at work, not in the horse stance, but just to kind of keep herself kind of relaxed and moving. So that was a great application. That was Jill. She told me about that last week. So on this next one, invite yourself to pause, bring your feet back to your center stance or square stance or tandem stance. In other words, about shoulder width. Shift weight onto one foot, raise your opposite heel, and do some loops with your knee. After you've looped in one direction, simply loop in the opposite direction. Beautifully done. And then take weight through that foot, raise the opposite heel, loop inward. Well done. And then a few outward. And we're almost done, head to toe. We started, let's take our weight back to our center. We started yoga neck roll. We worked our way all the way down. The only thing left are the hands and wrists and forearm. Gently clasp them in front of your heart. And let's do some wrist rolls. The direction is fine. You know we're going to change direction. So after you've done a few wrist rolls in one direction, simply pause, loop in the opposite direction. Beautifully done. Now, since we're clasping our hands, we can unclasp them and go right into Qigong breathing. So we simply lead with our palms. We exhale our palms to our lap and then inhale our palms towards our heart, and we exhale back down. And you find the rhythm of your own breaths. You don't need to follow mine. And this is breathing between 2 of those energy centers. Middle dantian and the lower dantian. Cauldron of the heart and the cauldron of the body. To get the full effect of this beautiful Qigong meditation, visualization, it's called cleansing the inner body. It's fun and it's best to engage the upper dantian of the mind. If you can do so comfortably, it's best with eyes closed so you can use the full power of your concentration and imagination. As you do, you inhale your palms up and you exhale your palms down. You begin this visualization, it's a classic. With every inhale, you imagine a glowing mist rising from the core of the earth through the soles of the feet, up the trillions of cells that make your inner body. We call it the inner galaxy. And finally, that inhale rests in the cauldron of the mind, the upper dantian. That glowing mist rests there. And then as you exhale and your palms melt down, you use the power of your visualization, your imagination, your concentration. You visualize that glowing mist in your upper dantian forms glowing cloud, and that glowing cloud forms glowing rain, and that glowing rain washes down those trillions of cells, your inner galaxy, through the soles of your feet. and back into the earth. So you're breathing into and out of the earth. With every inhale, a glowing mist rises. With every exhale, a glowing rain falls, washing, cleansing your inner body, and preparing it for all that follows. Beautifully done. When your hands come up and rise again on your next one, we'll go into our meditative stance, our meditative pose known as stand like tree. So your hands pause at heart height in a hugging posture. This is where we take inventory of our alignment and return again and again. So with long neck and light head, our head floats like that balloon. Long neck, light head floating upward. And our heavy shoulders, our heavy tail melt downward. Now between them, our spine gently stretches in what's known in the ancient Asian literature as the string of pearls. And as we stand here, we notice our hands hover as if we're tenderly hugging a long-lost loved one. Our feet are parallel in a firm-rooted stance like a mighty oak. And our three energy centers, the ones we were just visualizing and breathing through, rest peacefully on one. As if we gathered, stacked and balanced carefully, three smooth river rods on life's river's edge. And as we enjoy this peace and we breathe slowly, deeply, quietly, we use this moment to visualize through our upper dantian the beauty of our warm-ups, from our yoga neck roll, through our shoulder rolls, from our pellet drum, through our ragdoll, from our great bear swings, through stirring the bowl and shifting weight on a figure eight. See it, feel it. And the echoes course through us. And if eyes are closed, we enjoy it as our hands begin a slow journey downward. Our thumbs find their destination crossed over our belly button, and our folded fingers warm just below in what's known lovingly as the lower dantian, the seat of chi energy in the cauldron of the body. Using the power of our upper dantian, our mind's eye, through closed eyes and pursed lips, as if we're blowing through a straw, we extend every exhale. We visualize blowing on the embers of the cauldron of the heart, and when we do, we delight in the growing, glowing light as the embers respond. And with each deep ensuing inhale, we draw the light upward and outward, and we begin to blow on the embers of the cauldron of the heart. So we're blowing on the embers of the cauldron of the body and the cauldron of the heart. We delight in the growing, glowing light between both of them. And with each deep ensuing inhale, we draw the light upward and outward through the trillions of cells of our inner galaxy to escape our inner galaxy and bathe the space between us. Light, warm, silken chi energy. And we affirm, may your body be strong, may your heart be calm. If your eyes are still closed, enjoy it as your hands begin to slowly melt to your side, only inviting your eyes to slowly flutter open as a butterfly might leave a flower. We are ready. We step into the center of our little boat, and our hand on this side of the room or screen floats before the heart in a gentle fist. The hand on this side covers it. Together, we take a deep breath into straight, then we slowly exhale and bow to one another. And this is a gesture of mutual respect between us. When we inhale ourselves back upright in gratitude for this tradition, we exhale and let our hands melt down. When we inhale again, we inhale them up and over, about an inch apart. Slowly and deliberately exhale down our center line. This is centering the chi, where we begin and end every class together. We do one more and we bring our palms together. And as we exhale knowing we're pausing at the middle dantian. This isn't Shaolin manner. And as we inhale, our elbows rise and wrists straight. As we exhale, we let our hands slowly melt down. We do this in deference to the Shaolin since we borrow so much from them. Now we're ready. We step out into our little boat. Unlock those knees so we can melt into it. When we inhale, our palms up again, an inch apart. As we exhale, our hands and knees melt in concert with our breath. So we inhale and float. We exhale and melt. The knees and hands move in concert with our breath. This calibration, where you get to check your 3 smooth river rods to make sure they're balanced carefully on life's river's edge, is known as sinking the chi. We like to return to it again and again because it's a great opportunity to check our alignment. Make sure we're moving properly. Tai Chi and Qigong, Shaolin, martial arts. Beautifully done. Now, today's class is playing Pipa, based around play Pipa, which is the ancient Asian lute. And it's a defensive posture in the fighting form of Tai Chi. And in a moment, I'm going to ask you, when your hands rise again, to allow the hand and foot on this side to come out in front of you. The heel is down, the toe is up, and the opposite hand is at shoulder height. The hand here is right in between, and as we take a deep breath, when we exhale, we switch sides. We drop our hands, step over, inhale up, and then exhale and pause here. And continue with our breath. Inhale and rise. Exhale and fold. Continue from side to side. This is playing Pipa, the ancient Asian lute. And as you can see, you've probably seen this stance before. This is often the first stance some martial arts masters will use to prepare for their contest if they are sparring, for instance. Do your best, follow your breath, rise with it, and fold with it from side to side. Play Pipa. Beautifully done. Now, on this next one, when you come out of it, I'm going to invite you to simply find your center and sink your chi. So return to where you began. Inhale and rise. Exhale and fall. And continue following your breath upward and following it down. When your hands rise again, invite them to pause, spread out at shoulder height. Beautifully done. Now, the hand on this side of your screen floats past your field of vision. It drops down, and you do it again, watching it float past your field of vision. And if you can do so comfortably, as my teacher taught me, fix your eyes on the leading edge of that hand as it floats past. Kind of mesmerizing. And that's the idea. That's the meditative form. And this is self-reeling. So right now we're using the hand to the west, but we're going to involve the hand to the east. So as you return, like I just did, engage your second hand and do the same thing from side to side. You'll notice your palm is leading, and notice also your turning trunk and your shift in weight. This is two-handed silk reeling. And we have 2 forms we do. Actually, we have 4 forms we do in strong Qigong. We have one we call wax on and one we call wax off, in deference to the old Karate Kid thing, Marita and all that. So we call this one wax on. And again, watch your hand float past your face. And we have reciprocal silk reeling like we're doing now. We also have 2-handed silk reeling. We'll save that for another class. Now, notice your shift in weight and notice your turn in trunk. Do you remember that little shifting weight on a figure 8? See if you can get a little bit of hip action going with this turn. Get the hips rolling from side to side. As you do, we're going to prepare ourselves for a little bit wider stance. Remember the horse stance we did in our warm-ups? I'm going to do some here in a minute. But we're going to use our trunk as our metronome. This shift in weight and turn in trunk is a beautiful way to move smoothly into position. So first we're going to do horse stance to the east with silk reeling, just like this. And I'll count us down and get us ready. So 3, we turn trunk. And 2, we shift weight. And 1, we ready ourselves. And we step out with the east foot into horse stance. And the first thing you should notice when you're in horse stance is how much freer your movement is. In fact, you might find at shifting weight on a figure 8, that little swivel in the hips is a little easier in horse stance. Your eyes follow hand, and your hand follows breath, and your breath follows body. Well done. Now, we're going to return to our center stance, and we're still going to use our trunk as our metronome. Slow down. Remember, you can see your breath with Tai Chi and Qigong. Slow your breath, slowing your movement. And ready yourselves. Here we go. We'll do our countdown. So, we'll follow our turn. That's 3. Follow our shift. That's 2. We'll ready ourselves. And return to your center stance. We continue your silk. Beautifully done. And in strong Qigong, we know whatever we do to the east, we do to the west. So we're going to horse stance to the west here in a moment. As always, we'll use our countdown and our metronome. So, we'll 3, follow our turn. And 2, follow our shift. And 1, ready ourselves. And step out west into horse stance. Feel the beauty and the freedom of your movement. That little swivel in the hips, if you can do so. That shifting weight on a figure 8. That's how you keep your smooth river rocks resting peacefully on one another. Tai Chi, Qigong, and the Shaolin martial arts. That's how you keep your center of gravity within your base of support. Beautifully done. Now, we'll begin our countdown to return to our center stance. So slow it down, follow your breath, and ready, here we go. 3, we follow our turn. And 2, we follow our shift. And 1, we ready ourselves, and we get right back into our center stance and continue our silk reel. Well done. Now, strong Qigong always has to have a single leg stance. Playing Peepaw serves very well to get us into the rooster stance on one leg. So in a moment, we're going to go east and we're going to go west. As before. 3, we follow our turn. 2, we follow our shift. 1, we ready ourselves, and then to the east, we go into rooster stance on one leg. Then we return to our silk reel. So go right back to your silk reel. Prepare yourself for rooster stance to the west. Same sequence. 3, we follow our turn. 2, we follow our shift. 1, we ready ourselves and rooster stands on one leg, wets. Resume your silk reel. Beautifully done. And then we finish up where we started with playing pee-pong. First to the east, then to the west, with our silk reel or wax-on silk reel in between. So, 3, we follow our turn. 2, we follow our shift. 1, we ready ourselves and play pee-pong east and resume your silk reel. Prepare yourself for play pee-pong west. So, 3, follow the turn. 2, we follow the shift. 1, we ready ourselves and play pee-pong west. Beautifully done. It's time to land this plane. Resume your silk reel. And now, let those loops get smaller and lower, little by little, till they're down in the lower dantian. And when you feel ready to do so, simply pause, find your alignment, and sink or chee. Exhale down. Beautifully done. Inhale and rise. Exhale and fold. When your hands drop again, invite them to pause. Inhale them up in front of you. Spread them wide. And stand like tree. With long neck and light head floating upward, our heavy shoulders and heavy tail, you melt down. Between them, our string of pearls stretches. Our spine gently stretches as one end floats and the other melts. Our hands hover as if we're tenderly hugging a long-lost lover. Our feet are parallel in a firm rooted stance like a mighty oak. And our 3 energy centers rest peacefully on one another as if we carefully gathered, balanced, and stacked 3 smooth river rocks on life's river's edge. With soft knees and soft belly, soft breath, soft gaze, or eyes closed, we feel the echoes of chee we stirred. We see the echoes and feel the echoes playing pipa in our 2-handed silk reel, and our silk reel in horse stance, and our silk reel in rooster stands, and our silk reel in playing pipa. Feel it. With our eyes closed, we invite the hands to melt down slowly, finally resting, crossing the thumbs over the belly button, resting the hands just below, warming on the cauldron of the body. We resume below it, on the embers of the cauldron of the body and the cauldron of the heart. We delight in the growing, glowing lights and closed eyes and pursed lips as if blowing through a straw. We draw the light upward. We blow on the embers of the cauldron of the mind that gave us this beautiful inner show, using the power of our visualization, concentration, imagination, and meditation. We see the show, we enjoy it. We blow on the embers of all 3 cauldrons, filling the inner galaxy with the greatest light. It blows and fills our inner galaxy, spills beyond, bathes the space between us. Spills beyond the space between us, bathes the world around us, spills beyond the world around us and bathes life itself with light, warm, silken, friendly chee. May your body stay strong. May your heart stay calm. May your mind stay sharp. May your spirit stay free. Idal, Chidal. Which means where mind goes, chi follows. Where intention goes, energy flows. Choose wisely. Your Eyes are closed still. Let your hands begin to melt to your side as you allow them to flutter over. And we step back into the center of our little boat. Slowly and deliberately inhale our hands up an inch apart just as we began, and slowly and deliberately exhale down, centering our chee one final time. The hand on this side of the screen makes a fist. The hand on this side covers it. Together, we take a deep breath in to straighten. Slowly exhale and bow, and you give yourselves a round of applause for being light you're making in the world today. Thank you so much.